My friends, we live in a world that is obsessed with external power. We seek strength in wealth, in titles, in the approval of others. We build fortresses of possessions and status, believing these walls will protect us from the storms of life. But I am here to declare to you today that there is a power more potent, more foundational, and more enduring than any external force. It is the power of a mind aligned with its divine purpose, a mind that is truly unstoppable. You see, the human mind is not a passive container. It is the sacred command center for your entire life. It is the control room from which your destiny is managed. But many people are living with a command center that has been hijacked by fear, programmed by past failures, and infected with the virus of other people's opinions. They are trying to run the software of their future on hardware corrupted by the past. So how do we reclaim this command center? How do we become mentally unstoppable? First, you must understand the principle of dominion. Your mind was designed for dominion, not for doubt. It was created to exercise authority over your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. But you cannot have dominion over your life if you do not first have dominion over your mind. The unstoppable mind is not one that never experiences a negative thought. It is the mind that has mastered the authority to evict that thought. You must take back the throne of your own consciousness and rule from a place of purpose, not fear. Second, you must delete the old software and install the program of purpose. From the moment you were born, the world has been uploading data into your system. Data of limitation, data of you can't, data of be realistic. This is corrupted software. To become unstoppable, you must engage in a deliberate, systematic process of reprogramming. You must overwrite the lies of your past with the truth of your potential. You do this by feeding your mind a new diet, a diet of vision, of affirmation, of scripture, of books and conversations that align with the person you were destined to be. You are not just thinking positive, you are installing a new operating system. Third, your potential is activated by pressure. Many run from challenges, from difficulty, from the pressure of a problem. But the unstoppable mind understands a profound spiritual law. Pressure is not your enemy, it is the revealer of your potential. A seed has the potential for a forest, but that potential is only activated when it is buried in the dark, confining soil, and forced to push upward toward the light. Your greatest mental strength is not developed in times of ease, but in the crucible of adversity. The pressure you are facing is not meant to break you. It is meant to reveal the strength that has been within you all along. Finally, you must connect to your source. Your mind is a magnificent creation, but it is a local piece of hardware. It is limited. To become truly unstoppable, you must sync your mind with the mind of your Creator. Prayer is not a religious ritual. It is the protocol for downloading divine strategy. In that place of quiet connection, you receive wisdom that transcends your own understanding. You receive peace that defies your circumstances. You are no longer operating on your own limited processing power. You are tapping into the infinite resources of heaven. You are not a victim of your thoughts. You are the steward of your mind, and you have been given the authority to govern it. Stop letting your past narrate your future. Stop allowing fear to sit in the chair of authority. You were born to lead, to conquer, to build, and to overcome. But it all starts in the battlefield of your mind. Take dominion today. Reject the corrupted software. Embrace the pressure that forges your strength, and connect to the source of all wisdom. Become the unstoppable force you were created to be, and watch as the world makes way for the person who knows who they are and whose they are. The very first and most fundamental principle of becoming mentally unstoppable is to reclaim the authority that was yours from the beginning. You see, many people live their entire lives as tenants in the house of their own mind. They are renting space to fear, to doubt, to the opinions of others. They treat these intrusive thoughts as landlords who have a right to dictate the terms of their existence. But this is a profound misunderstanding of your divine design. The truth is, you are not a tenant. You are the landowner. You are not a guest in your consciousness. You are the sovereign. Your mind is a kingdom, and you were created to rule from the throne of your own will, exercising dominion over every thought, every emotion, and every impulse that arises within its borders. This is not a metaphor. It is a spiritual and psychological reality. The moment you begin to see yourself as the ruler of your inner world is the moment everything changes. You stop reacting to thoughts as if they are unchangeable facts and start responding to them as a king responds to petitioners in his court. Some petitions, thoughts of courage, wisdom, and love, are granted immediate access and resources. Other petitions, thoughts of fear, lack, and bitterness, are recognized for the troublemakers they are, and are promptly dismissed from the royal court. This is what it means to have dominion. It is not the absence of negative thoughts. It is the authority to veto them. It is the power to say, I see you fear, but you have no vote here. I acknowledge you doubt, but you will not dictate my actions. This sovereign authority is the bedrock of an unstoppable mind. A mind that is ruled by passing thoughts is a mind in a constant state of civil war, vulnerable to every external storm. But a mind that is governed by a purposeful sovereign is a unified, peaceful, and powerful kingdom. It makes decrees based on the vision of the future, not the echoes of the past. It operates from a place of intentionality, not reaction. To reclaim this dominion is a daily practice of sitting on the throne of your own awareness. It is the conscious decision that you, connected to the ultimate source of all authority, are the final say in your own life. When you truly grasp this, you are no longer a victim of your mental state. You are the master of it. This is the non-negotiable first step. You must evict the squatters of fear and install yourself, in the name of your God-given purpose, as the rightful ruler of your mind. From the moment you drew your first breath, a silent and relentless programming began. The world, with its limited perceptions and broken narratives, started uploading data into your mainframe. The careless words of a teacher became a file labeled "You're not smart enough." The failure of a venture became a program called "You always quit." The comparisons to others installed the virus of "You don't measure up." This foreign software runs in the background of your mind, draining your processing power, corrupting your decisions, and crashing your dreams. It speaks to you in the first person, masquerading as your own voice, whispering its lies of limitation so convincingly that you accept them as the unchangeable operating system of your life. To become unstoppable, you must engage in the deliberate and systematic work of a master programmer. This is not about positive thinking. It is about precise coding. It is the meticulous process of identifying every line of corrupt code, every "I can't," every "I'm not," every "what if I fail," and deleting it. You must then write new, powerful code based on the truth of your divine design. This is the work of reprogramming. You do this by controlling the input. You must become a ruthless gatekeeper of your senses. Every book you read, every conversation you entertain, every image you consume is data. You cannot feed your mind a diet of fear, gossip, and negativity and expect it to output courage, wisdom, and innovation. You must curate a new library for your mind, filled with the truth of your purpose, the testimony of overcoming, and the language of possibility. This is also the work of affirmation and visualization. When you stand in front of a mirror and declare, "I am a person of purpose and power," you are not lying. You are writing a new command line into your subconscious. When you close your eyes and vividly see yourself achieving your goals, you are not indulging in fantasy. You are running a simulation on your new software, training your entire being to recognize and execute the program of your destiny. This reprogramming is a violent act of stewardship. It requires you to challenge every assumption, to question every self-imposed limit, and to overwrite the world's narrative with the Creator's blueprint for your life. It is the daily, disciplined practice of installing the program of purpose until it becomes the default setting from which you boot up every single day. The old files may still exist in the recycle bin, but they no longer have the authority to run your life. You have taken back administrative access, and you are now running on a new operating system, one designed not for survival, but for significance. The world teaches us to flee from pressure, to seek comfort, to avoid difficulty, to pray for an easy path. But this pursuit of a pressure-free life is a direct contradiction to the principles of growth and purpose. You see, pressure is not your enemy. It is the divinely appointed revealer of your dormant potential. Consider the most powerful forces in the natural world. A diamond is not formed in the open air. It is created deep within the earth, under immense, crushing pressure and searing heat. That which is carbon becomes that which is unbreakable only through a process of intense compression. In the same way, the seed possesses the genetic code for an entire forest, but that potential remains locked away until it is buried in the dark, confining soil. The pressure of the earth around it, the struggle to push through the dirt, these are not obstacles to its purpose. They are the essential triggers that activate its destiny. Without the pressure, the seed remains a single dormant seed. With the pressure, it becomes a tree. Your mind operates on the same spiritual principle. The challenges you face, the adversities that press in on you, the problems that feel overwhelming, they are not signs that you are on the wrong path. They are evidence that you are in the exact right place for your potential to be revealed. The pressure is designed to force you to tap into resources you did not know you possessed. It compels you to think more creatively, to dig deeper for resilience, to rely on a strength that is not your own. When you feel the squeeze of financial lack, it is an opportunity for the potential of financial wisdom and creativity to be revealed. When you feel the weight of a broken relationship, it is the catalyst for the potential of forgiveness and emotional maturity to emerge. When you face a problem that seems insurmountable, it is the pressure that forces the potential for divine strategy and innovation to surface. The unstoppable mind does not pray for the pressure to be removed. It prays for the capacity to withstand it, knowing that on the other side of that pressure is a new version of itself that could not have existed otherwise. You are not being crushed, you are being condensed. You are not being buried, you are being planted. The discomfort you feel is not the signal of your impending destruction, but the birth pang of your next level of strength and capability. Embrace the pressure. Thank God for the struggle, for it is in the very process that you find difficult that the world gets to see the diamond that has been hidden within you all along. The pursuit of a mentally unstoppable life cannot be achieved solely by your own willpower and determination. To believe so is to operate from a place of profound limitation. You are a magnificent creation, but you are a local device, a branch, designed to draw life and sustenance from a central vine. Your own mental processing power, your own reservoir of wisdom, your own capacity for peace, these are finite resources. You can reprogram your mind, you can take dominion over your thoughts, but eventually you will face a problem too complex for your logic, a burden too heavy for your emotions, or a challenge that requires wisdom beyond your years of experience. This is not a design flaw, it is a divine invitation. The final and most critical key to becoming unstoppable is to sync your local mind with the infinite mind of your Creator. Prayer, meditation, and quiet contemplation are often misunderstood as religious duties or emotional crutches. In reality, they are the most sophisticated protocols for success ever designed. They are the process of connecting your personal computer to the cosmic mainframe. When you quiet the noise of your own thoughts, the worries, the plans, the endless internal chatter, you are not doing nothing. You are clearing the cache and closing the background applications that are blocking your connection to a higher bandwidth. You are tuning your receiver to the frequency of divine wisdom. In this place of quiet connection, you are not just thinking, you are downloading. This is where inspiration that seems to come out of nowhere originates. It is the sudden solution to a problem that has plagued you for months. It is the creative idea that unlocks a new dimension of your purpose. It is the profound, unexplainable peace that settles over you in the midst of a storm. This is not your mind working harder. It is your mind connecting to a source that operates on a higher plane. This connection transforms your understanding of strength. You are no longer limited to your own intelligence, your own resilience, or your own courage. You now have access to the wisdom of the ages, the resilience of eternity, and the courage that spoke worlds into existence. An unstoppable mind is, therefore, a connected mind. It is a mind that has learned to stop striving in its own power and start receiving from a limitless supply. It knows when to stop processing and start listening. It understands that its primary function is not to generate all the answers, but to accurately receive and execute the directives of its divine source. When you are synced with your Creator, you are no longer just mentally strong. You are divinely empowered. You are not just unstoppable by human standards. You are backed by the authority of heaven itself. This is the ultimate upgrade, shifting from a standalone system to a terminal connected to the universe's central intelligence. The world will constantly try to assign you an identity. It will call you by your past failures, labeling you the one who fell. It will call you by your present circumstances, naming you the broke one or the sick one. It will call you by your limitations, dubbing you the uneducated or the insecure. If you accept these labels, you will build your life around a lie. and that lie will always have a stopping point, a point where your past defines your future, where your circumstance overwhelms your calling. But there is a truth that shatters every label. Your true identity is not found in your history or your current struggle. Your identity is found in your divine assignment. You are not what you have done. You are what you were designed to do. You are not a product of your past. You are a prophecy of your future. When you discover the what and why of your existence, the specific problem you were born to solve, the unique song you were created to sing, that purpose becomes the core of your identity. This is the master key to an unstoppable mind. A person with a title can be stopped. A person with a role can be replaced. But a person who has become their assignment cannot be derailed, because to stop them would be to thwart a universal law. Your purpose is not just something you do. It is who you are. When your sense of self is fused with your God-given mission, setbacks are no longer personal attacks. They are simply course corrections on the journey. Criticism is no longer a verdict on your worth. It is feedback on your method. Failure is no longer an identity. It is data. You are no longer a fragile ego trying to protect itself. You are a force of nature fulfilling a mandate. This is why you must do the deep work of self-discovery. You must ask the foundational questions. Why am I here? What gift resides in me that the world is waiting for? What makes me come alive? The answers to these questions are not mere hobbies or interests. They are the fingerprints of your destiny. They reveal the you that exists beyond your resume, your bank account, and your social media profile. When you know who you are and why you are here, the opinions of others lose their power to define you. The fear of missing out evaporates because you are too focused on your own lane to be looking enviously at others. You become impervious to the shifting winds of culture and trends because you are anchored to an eternal purpose. You are unstoppable not because you are arrogant, but because you are aligned. You have moved from being a wanderer to being a warrior with a cause. Your identity is your armor, and your assignment is your compass. And a person who knows where they are going and who they are cannot be stopped by any force on earth.